Good afternoon. Thank you. It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now. And the timetable will be announced next week. And I've today appointed a cabinet to serve, as I will, until a new leader is in place.
Boris Johnson resigns as Prime Minister of Britain, all as the liberal world order he so desperately defended comes crashing down. We're going to take a look at what precipitated his resignation. We're going to see how BoJo squandered a major political realignment opportunity. And make sure to stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal how Johnson's fall is all part of the larger fall of the liberal world order itself. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you, your patriot professor, helping to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And a huge shout out to all of you from our good friends over at Old Country Soap. Apparently, you've been ringing their phones off the hooks. I introduced you some weeks back to this amazing South Dakota company that uses traditional Amish techniques and locally sourced ingredients to make the best natural soaps out there. Every bar of Old Country Soap includes pure and unfiltered bentonite clay, which works wonders. It helps to soothe and relieve dry and sensitive skin. It's known for its healing properties that help with psoriasis and eczema. I mean, it's amazing stuff. Gang, you have got to try this soap out. Just the pure natural scent alone is unbelievable. Click on that link below right now, and for a limited time, you're going to get an exclusive discount if you use my promo code Turley. And they're even going to throw in a free shower-enhancing exfoliation soap bag with every purchase. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit oldcountrysoap.com. All right, gang, so let's dive right in here. BoJo is no mo. The British Prime Minister resigned today after an absolutely unprecedented surge in resignations from his cabinet. Over 50 administrative officials resigned within the time span of 48 hours. We simply have never seen anything quite like that in British politics. He noted that it was absolutely clear that the Conservative Party, of which he was serving as leader, wanted someone else at the helm, and Conservatives were hardly alone. The latest poll shows that 70% of the British public in general wanted Boris gone. And interestingly, I have to note, that's actually less than the 71% who want Biden gone. So maybe Biden's next after that? Well, I doubt we'll be holding our collective breath on that one. Now, formally speaking, the reason for BoJo's departure was the revelation of yet another scandal. His administration was absolutely plagued with scandals from the get-go, such as the so-called Partygate scandal, where photos emerged some months back of Johnson attending a drinking party that broke his own lockdown mandates. The latest involved a former government minister by the name of Chris Pincher, who had previously resigned after being accused of sexual misconduct with two other men, and who ended up getting politically promoted by Boris Johnson, who originally said that he never knew about those sexual misconduct allegations. But then when confronted with evidence that he was, in fact, familiar with them, he changed his tune to, well, I forgot. Well, it seems that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And within a span of 48 hours, his administration literally imploded. And so after 2 years and 348 days, BoJo has resigned his premiership. And as such, Johnson is the third prime minister in a row to resign before the end of their term, following on the heels of Theresa May and before her, David Cameron. All Conservative Party leaders, all failures in their own rights, precisely because each one of them failed to see that a new world was dawning where the old liberal globalist playbook simply no longer applies. Remember, both Cameron and May were staunchly against Brexit. They both actively and publicly campaigned against it. Cameron went so far as to claim that a successful Brexit could start World War III. That's how desperate he was to stop it. And ironically, even though Boris Johnson recognized that moment, that historical, significant moment of Brexit as a constituent part of the collapse of the old globalist order, and even though he successfully fulfilled it, nevertheless, that's where it ended for him. He simply could not see how Brexit was part of a larger political paradigm that was reshaping the world all around him. If you're new to this channel, and if so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. But this is a constant theme here on this channel, that the world is moving more and more away from an ideologically dominated age, the age of the Cold War and Western globalism, to an age dominated by concerns over identity. We all know the term identity politics, right? But this goes way, way, way beyond BLM and all the other liberal, goofy movements that we see here in the United States. Global identity politics is all about more and more populations turning their back on the one-size-fits-all political and economic system of globalism and re-embracing nation, culture, custom, and tradition as the means for a flourishing social life. And so it's unfortunate that Boris Johnson obviously missed that. He missed the fact that Brexit was a sign that concerns over cultural identity and national sovereignty had made their way into the British political order. And it's so ironic because Johnson actually solidified his political power right smack dab in the midst of this political paradigm shift. Back in December 2019, Boris Johnson and the Conservatives won an astonishing landslide victory, which was propelled by a striking shift in voter allegiances that few pundits predicted. What happened is that Boris's Conservative Party captured a number of blue-collar districts that had voted for leftist Labour for decades. And ironically, this voter defection first became apparent in the original 2016 Brexit referendum. Brexit was and remains extremely popular among traditional Labour constituents, such as the working class voters, who see globalism as a mortal threat to their way of life. Globalism needs to be curbed and disciplined so as to protect cultures and communities built around manufacturing and industry. Economic nationalism is perhaps the single most important political issue for most working class voters today, both in Britain and the United States, and indeed throughout Europe. And so working class voters defected away from Labour in droves and voted for the Conservatives literally for the very first time. And so when you look at the Brexit issue and the fact that support for Brexit cut directly across the traditional party electorates, we could see that conditions were ripe for a major political realignment, which in many ways we saw glimpses of in December 2019. So Boris did in fact get Brexit done, but rather than recognize that Brexit was a symbol of a much wider political realignment going on around the world, around nation, culture, custom, and tradition, he turned around and just governed like a typical liberal technocratic globalist. And that, again, ironically, that I believe is the key to his downfall that all the pundits are missing at the moment. But before I get, what do you think of my Klaus Schwab shirt? We have ways, a very, very sinister phrase at that of Davos, Demon from Davos, where you can get yours by clicking on the link below and enjoying our Christmas in July sale at our Turley Talks merch store. We've been winning so much of late that we wanted to celebrate those wins with a special 4th of July sale all throughout the month of July. So make sure to click on that link below. And for limited time, if you buy 2 shirts, you're going to get 1 shirt absolutely free. That's right. Get 2 for yourself and 1 for the patron in your life. Get 2 for the patrons and 1 for you. They'll love you for it. Click on that link below or go to store.turleytalks.com. All right. So when all is said and done, I think here's the real reason Boris Johnson collapsed. When all is said and done, it's precisely because he went all in as a political and economic globalist. He became a defender of the liberal world order, as it were, especially in the face of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Johnson promised that the UK would stand up to Russia and help defeat Russia, and as a result, the UK economy is tanking. Now, I've argued in other videos that the Russian conflict in Ukraine officially marks the end of political and economic globalism. And that's precisely what we are seeing. We're seeing an economy of Russia revitalizing due to its recalibration towards the East, linking up with China and India, who together in a matter of decades will have economies larger than all Western nations combined. All the while, Europe's economy, including Great Britain's, is literally collapsing into tatters. And so when all is said and done, it's all precisely because of what Biden's economic advisor said in an interview with CNN. All of this economic implosion in the West, well, it's necessary so that we defend the liberal world order. As we saw today with Boris Johnson, the administrations defending that liberal world order are beginning to fall. And with it, the liberal world order is coming crashing down as well. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the massive uprising in the Netherlands as Dutch protesters are crushing leftist globalists. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.